Hello everyone, and welcome to the NBA DFS show for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. My name is Dylan Bird, here once again on Sal Vetri's YouTube channel, and we got a 6-game Thursday slate to break down with 5 stars and 5 scrubs. First, before we get started here, just wanted to remind you to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It really helps me out, it really helps Sal out. Also, you could follow me on Twitter at sports_bird. You could check out my Patreon in the link in the description below as well. And you can check out my YouTube channel, SportsBird, in the link in the description as well there. I do NBA player props there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a great time. Be sure to check it out. And also, before we get started here, just wanted to let you know about Super Draft. Super Draft is daily fantasy, but in a multiplier format. It's a must play. Usually, contests are only around 75-70% filled there, which is huge for you as a player because with a guaranteed prize pool that Super Draft does offer, you have a higher chance of winning money here. It's also nice to change things up with a multiplier format here. A little bit different than your normal salary base, but it's cool to switch things up every once in a while. If you go into Super Draft with the promo code SAL, S-A-L, you get a free money bonus up to $1,000 as you play in a slow drip format. Be sure to check it out. Super Draft, promo code SAL, S-A-L. Now let's get right to it here. 5 stars we're going to talk about today, and the first star we got is point guard James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets tonight against the Orlando Magic, priced at $10,800. So with the way James Harden has been playing lately, he is just a must-play tonight in DFS. Again, there's no Kevin Durant with that hamstring injury, which means a huge usage increase for James Harden. In the last 5 games with Kevin Durant out, Harden is averaging 31.2 points per game, 11.4 assists per game, and 9.4 rebounds per game. He's also shooting 52% from the field, 48.9% from 3. Usage rate with Kevin Durant out has been all the way up at 32.2% over these last 5 games. Also in these 5 games, 4 of his performances have been of 67 points or better. The other one was at 54.25 points against the Lakers. Harden now goes up against the Magic here, who ranked 23rd in opponent DraftKings points to point guards. They rank tied 21st in opponent assists per game at 25.4 per game. Harden's assist percentage with Brooklyn up to 42.6%, which ranks in the 92nd percentile amongst all point guards. The Magic also ranked 23rd in opponent rebounds per game at 46.1. Over-under in this game, 226.5. So a little bit low for a Nets game, but still around average for an NBA game. That doesn't concern me at all with the way the Nets play offense. I mean, just one of the most efficient offenses you'll ever see. And with Harden playing this well, I think he's a must-play tonight no matter what the price is. Currently priced at $10,800 as my first star on the slate tonight. James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets against the Orlando Magic. Now we're going to move on to the second star on the slate tonight, and that is point guard of the Washington Wizards, Russell Westbrook, priced at $9,500 in this game. Russell Westbrook was not having a good season. All of a sudden flips the switch these last 5 games, turns it up a lot. Over the last 5 games, Westbrook is averaging 21.4 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, and 11.8 assists per game. His usage percentage up at 29.9% during these 5 games. In these 5 games, he's also had at least 52 DraftKings points in all 5 of them. 2 of these performances have been over 60 DraftKings points. Meanwhile, you're still getting Westbrook at $9,500 here, which in my opinion is a really good price. He was priced at $10,000 or above in 3 of his last 4 games. Goes up against the Denver Nuggets here. The Nuggets rank 26th in opponent DraftKings points to point guards. They rank 28th in opponent assists per game as well at 26.8. Russell Westbrook's assist percentage is at 44.8%, which ranks in the 97th percentile amongst all point guards. The over-under in this game also really high at 236.5, the second highest over-under on this 6-game slate tonight. As a result, I like Russell Westbrook as my second star on the slate tonight. Now we're going to move on, talk about our third star, and that is Russell Westbrook's teammate, shooting guard of the Washington Wizards, Bradley BEAL at $9,200. You know I love a cheap Bradley BEAL on the slate. I've spoke about it in weeks prior. Anytime his price is low, I think you got to take him. And look, I'm not sure why the price dipped this low. BEAL's averaging 32.7 points per game on the season, 5.3 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists on the season, also averaging 50 DraftKings points. And in the last 5 games, Bradley BEAL hasn't put up a performance under 45 DraftKings points. 3 of those games have been over 50 DraftKings points. BEAL's usage rate also up at 35% percent on the season, which ranks in the 99th percentile amongst all wings. The Nuggets rank 25th in opponent DraftKings points to shooting guards. Once again, projected high scoring game here, over under at 236.5. Because of this low price, because of this good matchup, high over under in the game, Bradley Beal is my third star on the slate tonight. Now we're going to move on to our fourth star of the slate, and that is power forward center Julius Randle of the New York Knicks at $9,100 against the Sacramento Kings. First of all, as a Knicks fan, got to congratulate Julius Randle on his first All-Star appearance. He gets rewarded here with a great matchup against the Sacramento Kings. The Kings rank 30th in opponent points per game at 119.9. They rank 30th in opponent points in the paint per game at 52.8. 17th in opponent rebounds per game at 44.9. 26th in opponent assists per game at 26.5. The Kings cannot play defense at all. Julius Randle is a guy who thrives in the paint. He should feast on this Sacramento Kings defense. Randle's averaging 23.3 points per game, 10.9 rebounds per game, and 5.5 assists per game on the season. Also 47.4 DraftKings points per game. I think you get him here at a solid price. I think he's worth paying for down rather than paying all the way up at $10,000 for Nikola Vucevic. So I like Randle in this spot at $9,100. He is a good matchup against the Kings here, and as a result, he is my fourth star on the slate tonight. Now we're going to move on to our fifth and final star on this slate, and that is point guard Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets against the Wizards. So we're going to have 3 stars here from this Nuggets-Wizards game. Jamal Murray has taken it back to the bubble lately, as in his last 5 games, he's averaging 32.8 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 5.2 assists per game, shooting 58.7% from the field and 54.5% from 3. He's had 45 or more DraftKings points in all those games and 60 or more in 2 of them. Goes up against the Wizards here, who are absolutely horrendous on defense. They're basically Kings level on defense, if not worse. They rank 29th in opponent points per game at 119.9. They rank 30th in opponent DraftKings points allowed to point guards. They rank 24th in opponent threes made per game at 13.6. As I said before, high over-under in this game at 236.5, and you get a decent price point at $8,400 on Jamal Murray, and I like him as a result as the 5th star on this slate. Now let's get into the 5 scrubs on this slate that we're going to talk about. The first one from the Denver Nuggets. So once again, another guy from this Nuggets-Wizards game, really going to stack up on guys from this game being this high point total, and that is point guard, shooting guard, so combo guard, Monte Morris of the Denver Nuggets at $4,800. Paul Millsap, Gary Harris, JaMychal Green, PJ Dozier, all out tonight according to Fantasy Labs. Monte Morris has been starting without them in the lineup at all. Last game, Monte Morris played 33 minutes, had 8-4-3 for 22.5 DraftKings points, and 2 games ago, he played 32 minutes against the Hawks, had 15-7-6 for 33.25 DraftKings points. The Wizards, as I mentioned before, so poor on defense, 29th in opponent points per game, 30th in opponent DraftKings points to combo guards. As a result, I think Morris is worthy of this scrub play down at $4,800 tonight. Now we're going to look at another guy who's priced at $4,800, and that is point guard, shooting guard Eric Bledsoe of the New Orleans Pelicans. Look, we're going to hit on this Pelicans-Bucks game as well here, because it's a very high over-under at 242.5 right now, which is wild. If we're going to be honest, Eric Bledsoe has not been very good this year, averaging 12.4 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game. In terms of, what we're used to with him in terms of stats, that's not very good. 24.2 DraftKings points per game. You'll likely get mid to high 20s in minutes with Bledsoe. Milwaukee ranks tied 16th in opponent points per game at 112.1. The over-under, as I said before, that is the biggest thing here. Set at 242.5. I think that in a game where Zion and Giannis will be the ones everyone's watching, both these teams, though, they guard the paint so well. So I don't really see either one of them dominating, whether it be Giannis, whether it be Zion. I think that it's kind of going to be a stalemate there. As a result, I would say they both probably have decent games compared to what we're used to. Both teams guard the paint really well. And as a result, I think a lot of these role players could have big games in this high-scoring affair. Eric Bledsoe being one of them. Again, not playing that well lately, but he is playing his former team with a high over-under here. I like him as my second scrub play on the slate at $4,800. Now we're going to get into our third scrub play from the same game, and it's kind of the same mentality. Now it's Milwaukee Bucks center Brook Lopez, priced all the way down at $4,300. Same thing here, once again, same thing with Brook Lopez. Not having a great year, averaging 10.7 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, and only 22 DraftKings points per game. But in a high-scoring game here, I think the role players do well. Lopez shoots a lot of threes. The Pelicans can't guard the three at all. The Pelicans rank 30th in opponent threes made per game at 16 allowed. They rank 28th in opponent three-point percentage at 39.3. This could be a big night for Lopez. I like the fact that he's priced down at 4,300 as well. And with this high over-under, it's pretty much a no-brainer for me at this price with Brook Lopez at 4,300. Now let's move on to our fourth and fifth scrub plays in the night. We're going to talk about two Knicks guards here. The first one being Derrick Rose, the point guard, shooting guard at 4,600 against the Sacramento Kings. Look, Elfrid Payton, doubtful tonight, which means that either Derrick Rose or Immanuel Quickley are going to start. We are going to talk about both Rose and Quickley as scrub plays, but first, let's just talk about Rose. Rose averaging 10.9 points per game in 21.3 minutes per game through his first 7 games with the Knicks here. As I mentioned, Sacramento is a poor defensive team, ranking 30th in the NBA in opponent points per game. Rose will see increased minutes and increased usage, obviously, with Elfrid Payton out, and I think you have to play him at 4,600, coming off a really solid game where we put up somewhere in the mid-30s in terms of DraftKings points. And then you got combo guard Immanuel Quickley, priced down as my fifth scrub at $4,100. Same thing here with Rose. Only different is that Quickley has a lot higher upside as Rose. If Quickley gets the start, I like Quickley so much more than Rose. I probably like Quickley more than Rose either way in terms of a DraftKings play tonight. We'll see what Tibbs ends up doing with the minutes. But Quickley hasn't been producing the last 3 games. In a bit of a slump, that being said, he's averaging 22.5 points per game per 36 minutes on the season, which is unbelievable. Like, he should be getting more minutes. Hopefully tonight with Elfrid out, they finally give him that opportunity. I think that he sees minimum in the mid-20s in minutes, even if Rose does start. That'll be great for him against a bad Kings defense. This is a great game for Quickley to get out of his slump, and I like him down at the price point of 4,100 here. And that'll do it for the Stars and Scrubs show for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. You got any questions, feel free to tweet at me at sports_bird. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. It really helps Sal out. Goodbye, everyone, and good luck with your DraftKings lineups tonight.